Having a child is one of the most amazing miracles a woman may go through in her life. Pregnancy is a great experience, but it comes with a slew of side symptoms that almost all women experience. Many pregnant women have morning sickness, feel drowsy and of course need to go to the bathroom more frequently. Despite all the difficulties that women face during pregnancy, it's all worth it in the end when it's time to hold your lovely bundle of joy in your arms for the first time. A frequent characteristic among pregnant women is that they do not give birth to children who are too large in comparison to their bodies. Babies' weight at birth ranges from 5 pound 8 ounces and 8 pound 13 ounces, depending upon the gender. Of course, there are women who give birth to kids weighing 9 and 10 pounds, but this isn't as prevalent as it normally was. There are also unusual instances in which newborns are significantly larger than normal. Tatiana Kalina gave birth to Nadia on September 17, and she weighed a massive 7.75 kilograms, or 17 pounds at the time of delivery. Approximately 1 month after being released from the hospital, Nadia was finally able to return home to her family's 3-bedroom apartment in Aleisk, a town in Russia's Far East. Her apartment, Tatiana hugged her daughter Nadia and said, "We don't have any plans for any more children. From this point forward, we're simply praying for grandkids." The floral wallpaper in the background was peeling in the corners. Baby clothing were hung on a line strung across the room, and a lace curtain draped across the window with the yells and laughter of Tatiana's children who were playing in the flat. She now has 9 daughters and 3 sons. The air was thick with their voices. The eldest is 12 years of age. Tatiana's husband is Viktor, a Russian army driver who serves in the Black Sea Fleet. "I received 3,500 rubles, about $141 American a month for the kids, and Viktor's pay is 10,000 rubles, she explained, rubbing the inside of her arm. "It's only enough for a couple of meals." This translates into a monthly income of approximately $545 for a household of 14. Daily, the family consumes 4 loaves of bread and 6 liters of traditional Russian beetroot soup, in addition to veggies and other side dishes. On special occasions, meat is served. "The clothes, toys and shoes have all been donated by our neighbors. All we have are outdated clothes," Tatiana explained. Tatiana gently slid Nadia into an ancient pram that she'd brought with her. It also serves as her bed. Tatiana explained that Nadia had lost a little weight and the doctors believe she may be suffering from cardiac disease. However, today, when one of her sisters kissed her on the forehead and held her in her arms, her daughter smiled softly. In response, Viktor enjoyed himself with the other children in the kitchen. "I told my father that we would have a whole football squad," he replied with a smile on his face. "However, we were never able to get there because we were largely made up of girls, so we ended up with a volleyball team instead." Tatiana's aim is to purchase a minivan for use on family road excursions to the countryside. "As for getting Nadia into the Guinness Book of Records, we'd like to do it, but we're not sure how to get in touch with them," Tatiana explained. Guinness World Records said in a telephone interview with Reuters from their offices in London that applicants need to submit an online application or write a letter. The biggest infant ever born weighed 10.8 kilograms and was born in the United States in 1979, but it died within 11 days of being born due to complications. According to the most recent edition of the Guinness Book of Records, a Brazilian infant born this year weighed 7.75 kilograms. Nadia was a lot heavier than he was. In a statement, Guinness World Records stated that, if there is such a pending claim, we encourage the family to apply. A certificate from Guinness World Records may soon be hung on a wall in the family's messy, cramped, youthful flat, which is undergoing renovations. Despite the fact that she's now 13 years old, it's difficult to realize that she was born weighing nearly 8 kilograms. She appears to be a typical weight child. She, like her parents, is of little stature, and she has experienced no health difficulties throughout her life in today's world. When Nadia looks at her children's photographs, she can't believe she was ever this large. The young lady is the youngest of the family's 11 children and Tatiana has no plans to have any more children. The huge family is housed in a 3-bedroom apartment, which was provided by the state to the military father. As a courtesy, the older children have already established themselves in their families and have moved away from home. When everyone gets together, though, it becomes quite raucous and entertaining for them. Wonderful, right? But it's not the end of the story yet. Coming up, we'll show you the biggest babies in the world. One of the biggest babies ever to be recorded was a baby boy who weighed 22 pounds. It was reported that, when his mother's water broke, he lost about 6 gallons of fluid. Sadly, he didn't make it. There are rare occasions when women end up having babies who are bigger than average. Surprisingly, sometimes these women give birth naturally, but that's not always the case. There are many factors that can play a role for a baby becoming that big. The mother's pregnancy weight can cause this rare occurrence. Diabetes can also play a major role in having a large baby. Many times when there's a large baby born, the mother had diabetes. Some women who have larger than average size babies are able to deliver naturally, while other times they can't. Here are 15 of the biggest babies that couldn't be born naturally. Colin Austin Chrysler. South Carolina's big boy Colin Austin Chrysler weighed 14.4 pounds. When he was born in South Carolina's Lexington Medical Center. The hospital staff claims it's the largest baby they've ever seen delivered there. He's a child at 3 days old, his father, Arthur, joked. He was born by a cesarean section in a perfect health. The only issue this large guy had was that he couldn't get his clothing on. His grandparents were tasked by his parents with obtaining larger garments for him. He had to wear size 3 to 6 months, which didn't even come close to fitting him. Cindy, his mother, was tested for diabetes multiple times during her pregnancy, but came back negative each time. Colin's blood sugar levels were checked 3 times a day when he was born, but he was otherwise healthy. Colin's father is ecstatic and believes he'll become an all-star athlete. Samazano Joshua Talia Atuvia. California's biggest baby Samazana Joshua Talia Atuvia was born in California in August of 2013. He weighed a whopping 16 pounds and 1 pence. Josefina and Provost, his parents, were quite proud of his weight. They even claimed that his birth weight was a state record. In order to promptly claim the title, his parents likewise waived their right to privacy. This enormous boy had to be delivered by a C-section, which goes without saying. Josefina Samazano's mother had diabetes and gained 110 pounds during her pregnancy. His father Probaso is from Tonga, which could explain his huge stature because larger children are more frequent there. Samazano weighed 25 pounds and measured 28 inches at the age of 5 months. He's already catching up to his 6-year-old brother in height. Diapers only go up to a size 6, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do as he gets bigger, his mother explained. Hopefully they'll be able to potty train him soon. Tiara Elikana, Australia's big baby. When Tiara Alicia was born, she set records. She weighed only 15 pounds. She was born in Australia's Blackdown Hospital. She was proven to be the largest baby born in her state in the last 10 years, as well as one of the largest newborns ever born in Australia. Congratulations, you've just had a toddler, her doctor told her mother, Alicia Climo, when he saw how big she was. Tiarlo was dressed in baby clothes for a 6-month-old baby, which came as no surprise. Tirlia was delivered by a cesarean section due to her mother's inability to birth her naturally due to her size. Tirla only needed to stay in the hospital for a few extra days due to respiratory problems, but she was healthy and ready to go home following her treatment. Tyrala, according to her mother, will grow into her skin and won't constantly stick out in the crowd. Tirla's parents were aware that she would be a whopper, yet they were nonetheless taken aback when she was born. Stefan Hendricks Louise Jean broke a record. Hendricks Stefan in September of 2006 was born. Stefan was born weighing 14 pounds and 13 ounces. He was born at William W. Bacchus Hospital, where he shattered an 18-year-old record for the heaviest infant ever born there. By 1 pound and 13 ounces, he measured almost 23 inches in length. Michelle, his mother, was overjoyed to finally give birth after 9 months of waiting. Fortunately for her, she was able to deliver Stefan via section. When Stefan was born, he was immediately moved up to diapers meant for a 6-month-old. "I have baby clothing," his mother responded, "but I don't think they'll fit. I believe I'll be forced to return them." Stefan also set a new record for his mother, who previously had 4 children who were born large, but none of them matched Stefan's stature. Stefan's record may not be broken for a long time. Whelan Cole Hallett 16-pound baby Whelan was born in Indonesia on May 1, 2017. He was 24.5 inches long and weighed a startling 16 pounds. All of his newborn diapers and outfits were skipped by this large boy.